Hello, with me today is Emer McGowan, Congress Program Committee member for Congress 2025. And Emer will give us a few tips for the presenters of World Physiotherapy Congress key sessions. So, how would you recommend speakers of key sessions to prepare for their sessions?
Great. Well, I think the main thing is to think about the aim of your presentation. So, are you trying to inform or to inspire, to demonstrate something, or to persuade your audience about something? So, I think that's a really good starting point. You also need to think about the audience, which will be mostly physios, and what they can expect from the presentation. So it's good to maybe outline what it is you're going to speak about at the start. But of course, it's also really important to have a really good, inspiring, and attention-grabbing opening point. Um, when you're using slides can be really helpful, especially for non-native English speakers. But it's important that you keep the text to a minimum. It can be good to have graphics or pictures as well, and to make sure that you definitely don't have too much text on the slide because that can be very distracting for your audience members. Um, as well, it's really important to think about how your presentation fits in with the bigger picture of the session that you're in. So it's a really good idea to communicate with your co-presenters, potentially to meet with them, but definitely to have a plan in place about what your session is going to look like, how it will be structured, and thinking about how you can ensure that you have a cohesive and linked presentations within the session.
Great, thank you. So in these sessions, we usually have seasoned speakers, but even the most experienced speakers might get nervous before a kind of session they are involved in. So have you got any tips for how to calm nerves?
Yes. And I think most people can identify with this. And I remember before doing my first platform presentation back at WPT in 2015, like I could hardly sleep the night before. So I think it's very normal to have some nerves whenever you're doing public speaking. But with most things, preparation is the key. So if you can do practice runs, that can really help to allay your nerves and get you used to what it is you're planning to say, and can really help as well to practice in front of colleagues or friends or family who will give you some feedback and maybe some tips about things that you could improve. Um, Also, to be aware of is that when we're nervous, we do tend to speak faster. So try to practice speaking slowly and taking that into account when you're timing your presentation to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to get across the main messages that you want to impart. Um, or, of course, maybe doing some deep breathing beforehand can be very helpful, and even practicing that so that you're getting used to using deep breaths to help yourself to calm down a bit when you're feeling that bit nervous. Also, as well, to be mindful that people are on your side, they want you to do well, and overall, we're a very friendly bunch of people, and we're supporting you. We want you to do well. So if you do make a mistake, or you stumble, or you forget something, just take a breath and start again.
Great, thank you, Ima. So, from your previous World Physiotherapy Congress involvement, what makes a great presentation for you?
There's been so many fantastic speakers at previous congresses, and I'm sure there will be again this year. And I think that's a really great starting point is thinking about the presentations that you've seen, whether it's this type of congress or in any other context. What has been good about them? What made them inspiring? What can you learn from those experiences? And trying to maybe bring that into your own presentations and your own plan for the session. Do try to keep the language simple and the sentences short. You have a good plan about what are the main points you want to get across. So have a really good opening point, then your main body of your presentation, and of course, always having a really key take-home message at the end to make sure that that is sticking with your audience. You want to consider what it is you want the audience to think, to feel, and to do after your presentation. And whenever you really think about those key things, it can help to make sure that you're getting those key points across.
Thank you, Ima. Yes, the key take-home messages are really so important, thinking about how much content will be presented at the event. So are there any other resources that you would recommend to listeners?
Yes, there's a really helpful speaker resource page on the website, which holds tips for using images and how to structure your PowerPoint and other useful information, or things like making sure that your presentation is accessible to all audience members. And you could also think about joining one of the drop-in sessions, or catch up with a recording of these sessions, of a recording of the sessions as well on the website.
Great, thank you. So thanks for taking the time, and I look forward to seeing you and all the listeners at Congress in Tokyo. Bye-bye.
Bye.